Hey, welcome to another episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. Another beer I got from my last Tabor crate. Another Mikkeller beer, their San Diego brewery. This is Traeblod Imperial Stout brewed with maple and coffee. Ingredients: water, barley malt, wheat malt, maple. Come on, focus. Syrup, 0.2% coffee, 0.1% hops and yeast. 11.7 ABV, so pretty strong beer. I need one. I was just almost in a gnarly car accident. I was driving down a country road. It's like 4 lanes. It's like 55 miles per hour. I'm probably going like 60. And this guy's all the way in the right lane, and he's trying to get over to the left lane and make a left-hand turn because there was a road there. And he waits like the absolute last minute, and even though he puts his blinker on, he starts to turn. Like, I don't have nearly enough time to stop. Thankfully, there's nobody coming in the oncoming traffic, so I had to swerve around him into the oncoming lane. I was so pissed. Oh, I missed him by probably 5 feet, maybe. So, anyway, to calm my nerves, let's try this maple coffee imperial stout. So let's give it a whiff here. For 0.1% coffee, it's pretty coffee smelling, I will say. A nice dark French or Cuban roast. And yeah, that maple syrup is there too, yeah. I will say it does smell like real maple syrup. It doesn't smell like, like artificial sweeteners or something like that. It doesn't smell too sweet. It's funny because like it does have that coffee smell, but it doesn't smell like super like roasted malt or anything. Leo, Leo, shh. Every time I'm doing a video, he's gotta start flipping out. He wants attention, so yeah, it smells very sweet. Just it's maple and coffee. But this is not a barrel aged or wood aged or anything like that. So actually, this probably the Funky Buddha maple bacon coffee porter. This is kind of like a super intense version of that. Except this doesn't have smoked malt in it, which maybe they should have. That would be interesting. So let's dive in here. Cheers. I will say, like flavor wise, it does kind of remind me of that, except missing the smoke malt. I think that's actually kind of a key ingredient because I'm getting a lot of sweetness on here. I mean, this is a lot. It said it's made with just maple syrup and coffee, but I'm getting like a big vanilla flavor. I can taste the maple syrup throughout the entire thing. The coffee, like you kind of taste like as soon as it hits the tongue, like it's a coffee flavor. It's not really like a coffee bitterness. Like actually, I just had an iced coffee at Dunkin' Donuts yesterday for like the first time in like years. It's kind of reminded me of that. I will say it is pretty boozy, and I think this is probably way bigger than it needs to be. I don't know why they need to make these beers 11, 12%. If you're gonna make beers like this that strong, they gotta like really age. And I think a lot of these beers have like high, quick turnover on them. So, yeah, I mean it's a clean fermentation, no apple or butter or anything like that. It's just kind of like it's a strong alcohol sensation. And what's interesting is like there's like a minty quality to it. It's got to be from like whatever hops they're using. Yeah, I think it's a combination of like the hops and the alcohol. I've had this flavor before in a lot of strong beers. Yeah, it's like almost like yeah, it's like I don't know, like if you ever had like mint chocolate chip ice cream or something, and like not the flavor of the ice cream, but like the aftertaste. That's kind of like what I'm picking up here. Let's. This is a soup. By the way, I didn't do the appearance, but um, it's a deep, deep brown, and like even this is one of those beers where the foam is brown. Let me see if I can. You can see coming out of the can there, deep, deep brown, and yeah, very, very dark foam. Yeah, I think I've seen darker, but yeah, that's definitely one of the more darker heads that you're gonna see. It's actually, now that I'm really like paying attention to it, I am getting like a bitterness. I don't. I would love to know which hops they used. It's interesting because Mikkeller, he's Danish, even though the beer is made in San Diego. Um, all his cans and bottles, they all have everything is in English and in Danish. That's funny. Like it says 11.7% ABV. All right. Well, okay. So here is dot and then comma and another comma. I wonder what why they have it on there three times. Mouthfeel is, yeah, definitely a full body, pretty soft texture. Mm, I wouldn't go. I don't think I'd go as far as to say creamy. It's not quite that. Since I mean they didn't put lactose sugar on here, so it's not a milk stout. So like although lactose is usually since the yeast can't process it, it's there mostly for like kind of a creamy mouthfeel. Although it does say wheat malt. Wheat malt is usually there to kind of like thicken it up and like give a good head retention. And it wouldn't really add. Yeah, I don't think you would get like a creamy texture from wheat, not by itself. I mean, you'd have to ask a pro brewer about that. Yeah, so like I said, it kind of reminds me of the Funky Buddha just without the smoke, and I think it would be improved if they threw a little smoke in there, but maybe they didn't for like intellectual property reasons, like they don't want to be called like ripping off the Funky Buddha beer, but yeah, this is pretty good. It's kind of simple, and Mikkeller, I mean he's made some like really crazy ingredients beers. Like remember was that Mikkeller or Evil Twin? I always get them mixed up. Yeah, Mikkeller. Yeah, I mean they're brothers, but they're both from Denmark. But like they had the coffee brunch weasel one. Um, so this is not like this is. I feel like he's kind of phoning it in. Like this is. I mean, this is like pretty much like any other pastry stout from like any other brewery. Um, I guess like what's so Mikkeller about it is that it's made with maple syrup. And I guess you could kind of compare this to like Founders CBS. Like that is an imperial stout with maple syrup and coffee and chocolate. No chocolate in this one, although there is certainly a vanilla flavor to it. But it's just not. That's also a barrel aged beer too, and this is just a straight from bright tank to bottle or can in this case. Yeah, it's good. It's a nice dessert beer. Actually, I think this would. What I love doing is getting like so-called dessert beers like this and pairing them like with a main course. Like imagine this with like a ribeye or a New York strip or even like Mexican food or something like a steak quesadilla or steak burrito. Something really savory like that. I think that'd be a good pairing. Yeah, it's good. I like it. I'm not gonna go too crazy about this one. I think as far as a rating, Untapped, it's a solid 4 out of 5, maybe a 4 and a quarter. Not too crazy, but like that kind of minty sensation. I think it's just from whatever hops they're using. And it is quite boozy. Like it's, I don't know why it needs to be this strong. Like I wish breweries, if you're listening, try to keep your beer in under double digits. Under 10%. Once you get 10% or higher, you got to be making like a really special beer to justify that much alcohol. So yeah, all right. So Mikkeller Traeblod. I assume that's like supposed to be like a reference to True Blood. Hey, somebody left a comment. Now you're just making us hungry with these steak references. You know what? I wish I already ate, so I mean I haven't had a steak. I usually try to have like a steak a week, and yeah, if I can maybe they have this at Total Wine. I don't know. I got this at Tavor. By the way, if you want to get Tavor, link in the description below. Download the app, and when it asks you who referred you, there's a referral code in there. Just type that number in, and you get $10 off your first order, and lets them know that I sent you. All right, so thanks for watching, and I'll probably see